Hello everyone, I'm Duane Roen. I'm a faculty member at Arizona State University in Tempe, Arizona. I want to talk a little bit about mentoring, which has been an important part of my life. I learned the importance of mentoring, I think, when I was a small boy growing up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin, where everybody on the farm, from my dad to my brothers to my uncles to my cousins, we're constantly showing each other how to do everything that needs to get done on a farm, and there was always somebody there to help as well. And so I came to appreciate that, and I think that's carried with me throughout my career in higher education, and actually before that when I taught high school in English in Wisconsin. So one of the questions I ask myself is, why is mentoring so important? And I guess I think about mentoring in terms of Lev Vygotsky's zone of proximal development, where I think about, the individual can do so much without assistance, but with the assistance of others who have been there before, who have done those things before, individuals capable of a whole lot more than he or she can do alone. The goal of mentoring in higher education, when I think about working with graduate students in particular, I don't think should be to make clones of ourselves. That is, I should not set the agenda for what a graduate student wants to become and wants to accomplish, but rather my goal is to listen, and I think that's an important skill of any mentor, to listen to what the student wants to become or the colleague wants to become, and figure out what are the things that I can do to help support that person to reach that goal. And my happiness then comes from seeing that person reach the goal that he or she wants to reach, not the goal that I think he or she should reach. And that needs to be defined pretty broadly. When I think about career goals, many of the students I work with, of course, end up in jobs in higher education, teaching rhetoric and composition at colleges and universities. But I also have students who leave higher education and go work in business and industry, sometimes for nonprofit organizations. And when I see the joy that they experience doing what they really love to do, whether it's in higher education or outside of higher education, that's as good as it gets. And then when I think about the kinds of, or the forms of mentoring that can occur in my own life, that has taken the form of lots of co-authoring. I've got a couple hundred articles and papers and books, and just about everything I've ever done has been co-authored or co-edited. And part of that goes back to what I was saying earlier about growing up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin, where we did pretty much everything together. You don't bale hay by yourself, you bale hay with other people. And so I just got used to it back then, and I've stayed committed to that ever since. And then also, besides co-authoring, co-presenting, a lot of co-presenting at conferences with colleagues, including graduate students. Mentoring has taken the form of conversation. So throughout my career I've had lots of conversations with people from everything ranging from publishing to teaching to personal aspects of colleagues' lives, and I'm talking here about mentoring as sort of one way, but mentoring is really a two-way transaction, where when I have been the nominal mentee or the nominal mentor, sometimes it doesn't matter that much. I see people in both of those roles benefiting a lot from the relationship. When I show someone how to do something, I gain something as well. I gain a better understanding of how to do that thing. And when someone shows me how to do something, I obviously benefit from that. And that mentoring, even though I'm well into my career, approaching the end of my career, I still benefit from the mentoring that all sorts of people give me. Sometimes they're senior to me higher up in the org chart, but oftentimes the mentoring that I benefit from comes from people who are much younger from me and much newer in their careers than I am. So, and oftentimes they have lots of things to help me with, and they help me. The younger people in the profession really help me see things with fresh eyes, things that I sometimes take for granted. The other kind of mentoring that I've done a lot of, especially at Arizona State University, is workshops sponsored by the Graduate College. So I do lots of workshops on entering the job market, workshops on how to prepare a CV, a letter of application, how to read job ads, how to interview, how to prepare a teaching portfolio, and then also lots of workshops on writing for graduate students as well. And those are lots of fun, lots of great conversations with graduate students from across the whole university, and that's something I really enjoy, is getting to know students outside of my own field. I also want to mention that I'm really pleased that the Council of Writing Program Administrators, another organization that most people seeing this are familiar with, has the Mentoring Project. And every year in the annual conference, we've got a mentoring strand, and it really is satisfying for me to see that that work is going. And I know that other organizations that all of us belong to, 4Cs does a great job with that. Computers and Composition, I know, does a great job with that. So I think mentoring is important. I hope that my sharing a few of my thoughts about mentoring here today might get a few more people interested in mentoring who maybe haven't been interested in the past, or I hope that in some cases it might make people feel that their mentoring work is acknowledged. I certainly appreciate it. So thanks for letting me spend a little time with you today.